Imagine you're sitting safely in your room. No lions, no predators, no enemies hiding in the bushes. Yet your heart races before an interview. You can't stop checking your phone. You overthink a text message for hours. And sometimes your brain treats a social media comment as if your life is in danger. Why? Because while the world changed dramatically over the last 10,000 years, your brain didn't. Deep inside your skull is a survival machine designed for a world that no longer exists. A world of hunting, gathering, and constant danger. Today, we're going to uncover why your brain is still living in the Stone Age, and how understanding that fact can completely change the way you see yourself. To understand your brain, we need to travel back around 200,000 years. Back then, humans lived in small tribes. There were no cities, no internet, no schools, no hospitals, no supermarkets. Every day was a fight for survival. Food was uncertain. Predators were everywhere. A single mistake could mean death. Imagine you're an ancient human walking through a forest. Suddenly, you hear something moving in the bushes. What do? If you ignore it and it turns out to be a lion, you're dead. But if you assume it's a lion and run away, even when it's just the wind, you survive. Over thousands of generations, evolution rewarded brains that expected danger. The descendants of those cautious humans are us. That's why your brain is naturally wired to focus on threats. Not opportunities, not happiness, threats. And that's exactly where many of our modern problems begin. Think about the last embarrassing moment you experienced. Maybe you said something awkward. Maybe someone left your message unread. Maybe you made a mistake in front of other people. Now ask yourself, why did it feel so painful? Logically, none of those things threaten your survival. But your brain doesn't see it that way. Ancient humans depended on their tribe. Being accepted by the group meant protection, food, and support. Being rejected often meant facing the wilderness alone. And alone usually meant death. So evolution programmed our brains to treat social rejection as a serious threat. This is why criticism hurts. This is why public speaking terrifies many people. This is why we replay embarrassing moments in our heads at 3 in the morning. Your brain is not trying to torture you. It's trying to prevent you from being excluded from the tribe. The problem is that your brain still uses Stone Age software in a modern society. Now let's talk about one of the most powerful systems ever created. Not the smartphone, not the internet. Dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical in your brain that motivates you to pursue rewards. For ancient humans, this system was incredibly useful. Finding food? Dopamine. Making friends? Dopamine. Finding a mate? Dopamine. These rewards encouraged behaviors that improved survival. But modern technology discovered something important. If you can repeatedly trigger dopamine, people keep coming back. That's exactly what social media does. Every like, every comment, every notification, every new follower creates a tiny reward signal. Your brain interprets these signals as social approval. And because social approval once increased your chances of survival, your brain wants more. So you keep checking, keep scrolling, keep refreshing, not because you're lazy, not because you're weak, but because your Stone Age brain has encountered technology it was never designed to handle. The same thing happens with food. Have you ever wondered why a bowl of vegetables rarely feels as exciting as pizza, burgers, or chocolate? The answer is simple. Your brain evolved in a world where food was scarce. Ancient humans could go days without finding enough calories. When they discovered foods rich in sugar or fat, it dramatically increased their chances of survival. As a result, evolution programmed us to crave these foods. The problem? Food scarcity is no longer the issue for most people. Today, high-calorie food is available everywhere. But your brain still behaves as though starvation is just around the corner. Every craving you experience is the result of survival mechanisms developed over thousands of generations. Your brain hasn't realized that food can be delivered to your door in 20 minutes. It still thinks you're hunting mammoths. Now let's discuss anxiety. Many people think anxiety is a flaw, but anxiety may have saved your ancestors' lives. Imagine two ancient humans. One constantly worries about danger. The other never worries. One checks the surroundings before sleeping. The other doesn't. One prepares for potential threats. The other assumes everything will be fine. Which one is more likely to survive? The cautious one. Over time, genes associated with vigilance and caution became common. That's why anxiety exists today. It was useful. Extremely useful. The problem is that modern life constantly triggers those ancient alarm systems. Your brain reacts to an exam, a job interview, a presentation, or financial stress, as if a predator is chasing you. Your heart races, your breathing changes, stress hormones flood your body. All because your ancient survival systems can't always distinguish between physical threats and psychological ones. Here's something most people don't realize. Your brain was never designed to make you happy. It was designed to keep you alive. Those are very different goals. Imagine if ancient humans became permanently satisfied. They might stop searching for food, stop exploring, stop improving their chances of survival. That would be dangerous. So evolution developed a clever solution. Whenever you achieve something, your brain rewards you briefly. Then it adapts. You buy the phone you've always wanted. A few weeks later, it feels normal. You get the promotion. A few months later, you're chasing the next goal. You reach a milestone, then immediately set another one. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. Your brain quickly adjusts to improvements and starts wanting more, not because you're greedy, but because your survival-focused brain was built to keep moving forward. In many ways, modern life is a giant mismatch between ancient instincts and modern environments. Our ancestors evolved to seek calories. Today, we're surrounded by unlimited food. Our ancestors evolved to seek social approval. Today, we're connected to millions of people online. Our ancestors evolved to watch for danger. Today, we consume endless streams of negative news. Our ancestors evolved for movement. Today, many of us sit for hours every day. The result is a world that constantly overwhelms systems that were designed for a completely different environment. And that's why understanding evolution can be so powerful. Because once you understand why your brain behaves the way it does, many of your struggles begin to make sense. So how do you deal with a Stone Age brain in a modern world? The first step is awareness. When you feel anxious, remind yourself that your brain is trying to protect you. When you crave unhealthy food, recognize that you're experiencing ancient survival programming. When you can't stop checking your phone, understand that your brain is seeking social rewards. When you overthink an embarrassing moment, remember that your brain fears social exclusion far more than it should. You don't have to eliminate these instincts. They're part of being human. But once you recognize them, you can stop letting them control your life. You can make conscious choices instead of automatic ones. And that's where real freedom begins. The next time you feel stressed, anxious, distracted, or overwhelmed, remember something important. You are carrying around a brain that evolved for survival in forests, grasslands, and small tribes. Not for social media, not for smartphones, not for endless notifications, not for modern life. The problem isn't that you're broken. The problem is that your brain is operating exactly as evolution designed it to. It's just doing so in a world it was never prepared for. And perhaps the most important skill of the modern age is learning how to manage a Stone Age brain. Because when you understand your mind, you understand yourself. And when you understand yourself, you can start taking control of your life instead of being controlled by instincts that are thousands of years old. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more fascinating insights into psychology, human behavior, evolution, and the hidden forces that shape our decisions every day. Make sure to subscribe to Human Lens. At Human Lens, we uncover the psychology behind everyday life, the mysteries of the human mind, and the evolutionary stories that still shape who we are today. If you learned something new, leave a like and share this video with someone who constantly overthinks, checks their phone too much, or wonders why modern life feels so overwhelming. And let me know in the comments, which Stone Age instinct affects your life the most? Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep looking at the world through the human lens. Thanks for watching.